Hey guys, welcome back to Abby Blue. Today we're going to make a black seed, or also known as black cumin tincture. There are so many different ways that you can take black seed as an herbal medicine. You can take it just by the seed form itself, oils, capsules, tinctures, etc. So today we're going to make a tincture, and there's a lot of different reasons why you might want to use a black seed tincture or black seed herbal treatment. For myself, I was recently diagnosed with early onset Hashimoto's. My hormone levels are not currently disrupted, but I did catch some antibodies that are attacking my thyroid. I've heard a lot of really good things about people who have any sort of thyroidism and supplementing with black seed treatments, whether that's a soft gel or that's using a tincture. So I wanted to give this a try myself. Tinctures are pretty straightforward. I've made some tinctures in the past. They're really easy to make, but they are very time intensive. Not labor intensive, but they do need to sit in your cupboard for about 4 to 8 weeks. We're gonna shoot for 6 to 8 weeks before we try recording again to show you the final result. But let's look at some of the benefits of using black seed medicinally. So the number one thing for me is anti-inflammatory. I'm currently adjusting my diet to be an anti-inflammatory diet. I am looking for lots of different herbal remedies that are anti-inflammatory, and black cumin is a great one for that. Black seed is also antioxidant rich, and it has awesome immune system support. I'm just gonna go ahead and list some other benefits because there's a lot. For instance, it can help with asthma, allergies, bronchitis, indigestion, bloating, antimicrobial properties that can help combat some digestive infections that you might have. Skin health, it can soothe irritation, it can reduce the inflammation, and it can support wound healing, blood sugar regulation, lowers blood pressure, reduces cholesterol levels, improves heart function, and much more. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on this because I need this in my life, although it's going to be another like 6 to 8 weeks until we can actually use it. But in the meantime, I am sprinkling black cumin on things like salads and soups, and I'm even putting it in my teas. You can make a hot water infusion, you can make a decoction with it, you can get black seed oil, but making a black seed hot oil infusion is rather quick, so you could make your own. You could buy some organic ones from the store and drizzle it on your salads, on your soups, and your sauces. So there's lots of different ways that you can incorporate black seed into your diet before your tincture is ready. Anyways, let's get started on making this thing. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some black seed in my mortar and pestle. So I'm not gonna like grind it up too much, but I do want to kind of break open the seeds so that kind of releases some more of those medicinal properties. The ratio that we're gonna use for this tincture is going to be 1 to 3. So we're gonna do 1 part of the black seeds, and we're gonna do 3 parts of vodka. We have 40% vodka. I was trying to find 50 to 60% vodka, as I guess that's a little bit better to use for black seed tinctures, but I was only able to find 40%, but minimum we should do 40%. This vodka is a Finlandia vodka, which is really exciting because I'm going to be going to Finland in July for the Biohacker Summit. Okay, so we're also using parchment paper to protect the alcohol from getting to the lid, since this jar I am using does have a metal lid and we don't want that to rust. So we're going to go ahead and put a parchment paper inside of the lid, and we can fill up our glass about 1/3 of the way. We don't need exact measurements, just a good rule of thumb is one part of your dried herbs, sorry if this is loud, 1 part of your dried herbs to 3 parts of your tincture. If you want your tincture to not be as concentrated, you could do 1 to 4, but a good rule of thumb is 1 to 3. So we're just gonna fill this up so we can get our measurements. See, about 1/3. Here, I'll turn this. This is I reuse and save all of my jars. And this was from a ramen place. They delivered their broth in that, so that's pretty cool. It's a really nice jar, and it is very clean. Okay, we're gonna do 1/3. Let's see. That looks about good. When we put our vodka in here, we want to keep a little bit of headroom, but not too much. So first, let's go ahead and kind of grind a little bit of the seeds to help release those medicinal properties. Let's see if we can hear these nice crunching sounds. too much in there. We're just gonna do that a couple times. I don't have the biggest mortar and pestle, so I'm just gonna crunch a little bit, put it back into the jar, crunch some more. It's definitely becoming very aromatic, so that is a good sign that we are releasing some of those medicinal properties. Okay, let's do this one more time. Now again, we're not making this into a powder. We're just trying to break open some of those seeds so it can more easily be extracted by the alcohol. I want to make a salve out of this, honestly. I might do that. That would be really good for skin issues, and I've got some skin issues that I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. By the time this video is done, I might have answers. I have done a gut microbiome test, and I should be getting those results back this week. So that's really exciting. Anyways, let's go ahead and... Oh my god. Okay, that was strong, but it smells really good. Let's go ahead and add our vodka. I have like this table in front of me, so I really have to lean in. But let's get this back up a little bit. Okay, go ahead and open this up. I haven't bought liquor in over a year. All right, now we're just gonna pour this in. Remember, almost to the top with a little bit of headroom. This is gonna be a pretty big batch, but I have a couple friends who I know has Hashimotos as well, so I'm depending on how much I can get out of this, but it's gonna be pretty big. I'd like to give them some tinctures as well, so we're gonna make an extra big batch and go ahead and put our cap on. You can see we have a little bit of space on top. And we wanna give this a really good shake. And the black and the vodka is already starting to take a little bit of a black note. Here, I'll get closer to the camera. See, pretty black. We're gonna want to come in and give this a good shake every day if you can remember. It's okay if you skip some days, but we're gonna keep this in a cool, dark place. So I'm probably gonna put it above my fridge in a cupboard, so every day I'll just go in, give it a good shake, and it's gonna be in there for at least 6 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks would be optimal. If you're in a time crunch, 4 weeks can be okay, but we're gonna shoot for at least 6 weeks. By that time, I'll come back and show you guys where we're at and what the final result is like. So I will see you guys in a jiffy. Hey guys, so it's been about 8 weeks that we've been letting our black seed tincture sit. I'm gonna have to like lean forward to do this. I have this table in front of me that's connected to this island. So this might look a little awkward, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So let's go ahead and strain this tincture. So what we have here is a cheesecloth, the black seed tincture. We've got a glass funnel. We have our different bottles, and then we also have a bowl that we're going to strain the tincture into before we pour it into the bottles. I have a paper towel over because I sanitized it and I don't want anything getting inside of it. I think this will be easier if I just stand up and lean forward, so this is what we're gonna do. All right, so what we're gonna do first is we're going to strain the tincture with a cheesecloth. So we're gonna cover our bowl and go ahead and open up our tincture. Like I said, it's been sitting for at least 8 weeks. It might have been a little longer. I had some things come up that let this sit a little longer than intended, but that's okay. It just extracted more of the properties. Let me go ahead and show you what this looks like. So as you can see, it's pretty black. You can see the seeds in there. And it actually looks like the seeds are kind of opening up. They're split. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up and extract all that tincture. Okay. Ooh. All right, so let's pour this in. Beautiful. Now remember to ensure that everything is sanitized before you continue your process of bottling and labeling. You know what? There's a bunch of seeds in here that I can't really get out, and I don't want to use a utensil to pull it out because they're not sanitized. So we're just not going to bother with that last remaining bits of seed. Okay, so my head might get cut off here. Anyways, let's go ahead and strain this out. We want to squeeze and extract as much of the liquid as we can out of the seeds, because that's going to be our tincture. So when bottling, we're going to want to use an amber colored jar because this helps protect against UV sun rays. Oh my goodness, still getting some juice out. UV rays can be damaging to the product. It can cause it to lose its potency. So we do want to make sure we're using those amber colored bottles. And when we're storing it, we want to keep it in a dark, cool place. So in the back of the cupboard would be an ideal place for that. If you don't have a cheesecloth, you can also use some organic cotton like a clean t-shirt, or you can use clean pantyhose. That works nicely as well. You just want to make sure that you're able to squeeze it with enough pressure and it doesn't break. All right, I think we got as much as we can out of this. So when you're done with those seeds, you can just go ahead and discard them because we've extracted all of those properties anyway, so they're not going to be much use. Clean the workstation up a little bit. All right, so now what we're going to want to do is pour our tincture in through a funnel into our amber glass jars. Now you're going to want to consider the size of your tincture jars. If you use a larger bottle, like let's say a size like this, eventually once your tincture goes down, you're going to want to switch into a smaller bottle to reduce that head space, because the more head space that you have, which is that empty space inside of your bottle, the more likely bacteria can grow on your product. So it would be ideal to simply store your tinctures in several small bottles. Here's our tincture. Very rich. Looking at the amount that I have and the uses that I want to use for them, I'm planning to gift some of these bottles to some friends who also have Hashimoto's. So I'm going to do several smaller bottles also, so I don't have to worry about the headspace as much. So let's bottle our first one. Try to keep your dropper in a sanitized place. I'm using a clean paper towel. Not putting it directly on the counter to prevent any bacteria from getting on it. And my counter is clean, but better safe than sorry. We're going to put our clean glass funnel and pour. We do want to leave a little bit of headspace so that you have enough room for your dropper. And perfect, there's our first bottle. I've got to tell you, this is pretty exciting. I haven't made a tincture in like at least 6 years. That was a cannabis tincture. That was a long time ago. All right, let's go ahead and bottle our next one. So I'm pretty much just filling it to the bottom of the rim here. Let me show you. Okay, so I'm pretty much just filling it to the bottom here. And so when we put our cap on, it fills it perfectly. Get that click, and it's secure. 2 down. Not totally sure how many to go, but we still actually have quite a bit left. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to want to do is label our jars. And that one's a little bit too full. Oops. I don't know where my labels are. I have tried to find them. They are in my cupboard somewhere. But what you'd want to put on your labels is the ingredients or the name of your tincture, the date that you bottled them, any possible dosages depending on how you created your tincture and what you're using it for, and any storage necessities if it should be stored in the fridge or in the cupboard. That's also something you might want to consider putting on there just so it's not stored in the wrong place. Otherwise, the most important things to have on your label is just the ingredients or the title of your tincture as well as your date of bottling. Now, taking your dosage, you can either do like a dropper full or however much you need for what you're trying to treat. Under your tongue, that's going to have the fastest absorption rate. Black cumin in general doesn't taste very good, so you might want to mix it with some liquid, whether it's water or juice. Water is probably not going to make it much better, but with health products and tinctures, sometimes it's not going to taste great, but you know it's really good for your body. That's really unfortunate. My microphone stopped recording like 10 seconds into recording, so I didn't capture any of that. So I'm really, really hoping that my camera caught all of this sound decently. If not, I'm probably just gonna have to do some... Oh no, it's really bright. So none of that was captured with this audio. Also, the lighting is not consistent. I'm using natural lighting. I didn't set up my my light panels today, so it is what it is. Sorry guys. We're gonna do one more small bottle. And there goes the sun. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get this last bottle going. And nope, we're gonna have another one. Might not be full, we'll see. That was way too full. I thought that was not going to be enough. Wasted a little bit, but we've got a lot out of this batch, so it's okay. I used all my small bottles and all my small droppers for this black seed tincture. Dang, that amount that we spilled would have been the perfect amount to fill this last one, but it's okay. We're not going to use what dropped on the counter because that's not sterile. So we got, let's see, 5.5, well, it would have been 6 small bottles plus 3 bigger bottles of tincture. So I've got lots of gifts to give. So be sure that you label it, as I mentioned previously, with your ingredients and the date of bottling and any dosage requirements if necessary. Store it in a dark cupboard. You could put it in the fridge, but a dark, cool cupboard is totally fine. That's all you need. Use your amber colored bottles, appropriate size droppers. Try not to leave too much headspace, so use smaller to medium sized bottles. And you can try to put it under your tongue. Otherwise, you can go ahead and put it in like juice or something. I hope you guys like this kind of video. This is my first video I've done of a herbal medicine type video. I've been wanting to make something like this for a while, so I'm excited that we're finally getting one out. Comment below if you have any questions about this tincture specifically, or let me know if there's any other remedies that you'd like to see in the future. Please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out, and I will see you in the next one.